It's crucial in many ways. The first and important way is that it's bringing harmony within government and between government and the party. As we all know, a sitting government under a multi-party dispensation implements a manifesto of a ruling party. And the NRM was voted in the government, and therefore we set up government to implement our manifesto. So this coming at this time is also good for us to evaluate the impact of the implementation of our manifesto, where we could have made mistakes, where we need to do more, and where we have succeeded, so that by the time we get to the next cycle of election, we know where to improve and how to improve our next manifesto. Then the third part of the importance of these is for leaders to keep reflecting on the changing dynamics of society. I hope we all know that society grows just like human beings. The growth of society is reflected in the ways in which needs and demands are put on administrators. The population expansion, the life expectancy which has increased, the rate of literacy that has improved, all these are changes that requires leaders to equally improve in the many areas of administration. So this gives us that reflection to realize that Uganda is changing. Uganda is now in the middle income status. That means the demands and the needs of the people are also growing, and they expect more efficiency in government. They expect more timely delivery of services. The population is more informed. The population is on the media and social media every time. They expect transparency in government. They are against corruption. All these are things that this retreat is going to reflect through, and how we can make services more effective and timely to the population. If that could be one of the things that we are going to look through. We expect the Prime Minister to give a brief report on how government has performed in the areas of implementing our manifesto, and then we see where government might have not done well as per the promises we made to the population. So yes, 1 week is enough for us to discuss all these issues. They cannot make our work difficult because we know there are those challenges. We don't hide. We appreciate the challenges, and we go ahead to prescribe solutions to those challenges. Our friends in the opposition only keeps enumerating the challenges. But for us, we give solutions to those challenges. We even explain where we have fallen short of addressing this challenge. I want to give an example. The population in the recent census report that was released, Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono, Mpiji, now expanding to Luero and Masaka. These are towns that are expanding in population every now and then. It means that there is a lot of rural-urban migration, that people are moving from the rest of the countryside and coming to the center where they expect services. And now this has put a lot of pressure on the services within the central region of Uganda. The roads are over-congested, accommodation is not enough, food is not enough, everything is not enough. And that means in the budgeting, we need to budget more for the central region because of the increased population. These are reflections we have to make in this area. So when our friends are just saying, oh, there is expansion, there is a lot of population, there's a traffic jam, there is this, they don't go to the nitty. They are discussing symptoms, but we are here discussing the disease, the problem, and prescribing the solutions. That is how different we are from them. Whoever asks such a question is not someone who understands governance. We are not saying NRM is going to address poverty and there will be no poverty in Uganda. We are not saying NRM is going to address unemployment, there will be no unemployment in Uganda. These are recurrent issues. As long as you produce, there is going to be poverty, there is going to be health caution, there's going to be all these human needs because society keeps growing, human beings is reproducing, and this reproduction makes us have new demands on the same needs of a human being. So the problem requires always coming. And so we need to put a mechanism that keeps addressing these recurrent issues time and again. It is not a fixed issue. So for them to think that NRM should resolve all these problems, it cannot. It will never. Yes. Thank you. It will help us in the sense that we shall know how to plan the next Kisanja better. It will help us to see how we can sharpen our argument in the next campaigns. So this retreat is very good because it's going to help us in very many ways within the areas of our interest. Thank you.
We assemble or gather here as the mainstream government. Now, whatever decision that we take from this retreat of cabinet and the NRM Central Executive Committee with permanent secretary will be, first of all, scrutinized into the different MDAs. Those that are legislative in nature will have to go through the National Resistance Movement Parliamentary Caucus in order for us to generate consensus before the matter is tabled in Parliament. And that is the role of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus. Before any position of government where the party has interest is taken, we must caucus. So the resolutions that we shall have from here will be resolutions that will move 360 degrees, but those that are legislative in nature will definitely come to caucus. That is how we work.
I'm called Grace Mary Mugasa, the Minister of State for Public Service. Today we are here at Kyankwanzi and we are really honored by the leadership of this country for making sure we come for a retreat of public officers. And we are here with all the ministers and our technical persons, more especially the permanent secretaries and the leaders of the agencies. My expectation here today is that we as leaders are getting off a moment to reflect where we have come from and also check whether we are doing the right thing and plan for the future, what we normally call midterm review. But my expectation is that we have seen many challenges, more especially on the economy. We are servicing the debt, and I feel we should downsize government to make sure we save money to plow into service delivery. That is my expectation. We need to discuss here how we rationalize the entire government, from executive, judiciary, and the parliament. Even local governments, because apparently when you look at the size of government and the expenditure therein is quite high. So my expectation is that we are going to discuss that. Yeah, we are also going to discuss, I think we are also going to discuss that, because if we look at how best we can deliver services effectively to our people, we should also look at fighting corruption, because a lot of money is lost in corruption. Recently, His Excellency mentioned that 10 trillion is lost every year in corruption. Therefore, as our leader, he has started the fight. We should follow suit.